you, this is awesome to have you here at the Off the Hook Comedy Club all this weekend. Everybody say good morning to Louie Anderson.
Hey, thank you. Good morning to you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I have a little cold, but everybody does in Florida.
Yeah.
The whole state's sick.
That's right, everybody.
It's true.
Nobody got a flu shot.
Nobody got a flu shot, and everybody got sick. And
that's right.
So they're living with it.
Sales of airborne are going through the roof.
That's right.
Yeah.
Does it work? Does it work?
I don't know.
I've tried it.
Has it worked? I mean,
I don't know. You can't tell if it works.
Right.
Because you don't get sick.
You don't get sick, or you get sick, but maybe it wasn't as bad.
Right.
You know. I never invent anything like that.
Right. What a great idea.
It was, wasn't it? It was just a dumb idea, too, wasn't it?
A really dumb idea.
As airborne, you go, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get my airborne down.
That's right. We're going to have 16 tablets of that in Walmart.
And this country likes things that fizz.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah, you put a thing in a jar and it fizzes. Americans will drink it.
That's right.
Remember, what was it when we were kids? Fizzies?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then there were Pop Rocks. Those kind of
Pop
Rocks.
Alka-Seltzer. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah,
that was later.
Yeah.
And then see what happens. Right. Seagulls don't like those.
Seagulls don't like them?
No, they don't like the Alka-Seltzer. It explodes their stomachs.
They eat them a lot.
Really?
Mean kids at the beach.
Mean kids throw them in there?
Yeah, they'll throw in the seagulls. Because the seagull eats anything.
Oh, my God. What kind of place is this? Jonathan Livingston would be so bummed out.
Exactly. Somebody call the World Wildlife Federation, something.
It's crazy, though. Really, they throw the Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, the seagulls, and the seagulls will eat anything, so they'll come down, they'll eat it, and then they die.
Oh,
yeah,
terrible.
their stomach explodes. Not good.
No.
But funny.
But I'm glad to have you, right? But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to have you. I'm a huge fan. I was saying earlier that I watched you as I was growing up. I've seen all your stand-up specials. I used to watch Life with Louie the cartoon on Friday.
The free show, huh? Yeah, they must know my family, huh? All right. Get a little Life with Louie there.
There you go. Life with Louie. What a great show.
Yeah.
What a fun show.
That was on for how many?
3 years.
3 years.
It was great.
And we're working on a Life with Louie movie right now.
Really?
Yeah.
An animated feature.
Yeah,
it's
animated
in 3D
feature.
like all the other movies are now.
I've always been in 3D.
Okay. Louie in 3D.
You know what I mean? When I walk in a room, they go, that guy's 3D.
That should be the
When your stomach hits people before you do, that's 3D, isn't it?
It looks like he's popping right out of the screen.
Yeah.
I suppose, I haven't seen too many 3D things. People, I don't know why.
I'm not into it. I don't like 3D movies.
I get a little nauseous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't like
You know what I
popping out of
mean?
me.
It's like a motion ride at a park.
Right.
It's fun for a lot of people, and then there's two people who are going, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw up, mama.
Are you one of those people that might throw up on one of those rides?
I'm the lookout for the people who are going to throw up.
Right.
I go, that guy's going to throw up.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, you remember that ride that whipped around?
Yeah.
And you stood up?
Yeah.
I remember a girl across from me throwing up on it, and it just went like this on her face.
Oh, it just kind of brushed.
It kind of like just... It was like the weirdest. I was sick for days just thinking about it. It kind of just peeled out. It didn't go out. It went around.
Yeah. Almost like partying like the Red Sea.
Yeah, it was just horrifying. I was like, oh my God, is this The Exorcist 2?
The look of terror in her eyes. That would have been a scene for The Exorcist 2.
Yeah.
She did all the projectile vomiting on the Gravitron ride.
That was a scary 3D movie as far as I was concerned.
That would be very scary.
I was frightened of The Exorcist. I went home and tied my bed down.
You didn't want none of that. That's funny. So, where is it that you grew up at?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
So you grew up in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I think I heard somewhere, and tell me if I'm right, that you are one of 11 kids.
One of 11.
That your parents had 11 kids.
11 kids.
Catholic or?
My dad was a musician. But he didn't obviously have any rhythm.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know why they had 11. My mom actually had 16 births. She had 2 sets of twins and a the first baby that didn't make it. But
Oh, man.
so we would have 16 kids.
Could you imagine 16 living with 16
Not
other
really.
siblings?
You know what's so weird when if anybody's from a big family, they kind of get this. You grow up in kind of sub-families.
Right.
The oldest kids, they kind of grow up, then the middle kids come along, and then when the youngest kids come along, the oldest kids are moving on.
Right.
Because there's like a 20-year span.
Right. Yeah.
So it was kind of weird, but...
Wow. And I mean, that's so big of a family, you start developing cliques, I would imagine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Where you're enemies with one brother or sister, and you're super good friends.
We all
with another.
hated my oldest brother.
Really?
Yeah. Because he was cruel.
He was the meanest one?
Because my dad was mean when he raised him. So he just, you know, he kind of became the parent then, I think.
Right.
Because my dad worked all the time. So.
Yeah. What did your dad do for a living?
Well, he was actually a musician for a large part of his life, but when I was born, he was 50. So my dad was, you know, like, he was still working and, you know, he was an alcoholic, so he lost his whole gig as a musician. But always worked, like always worked 2 or 3 jobs, construction, and so he was a big guy. He was a strong guy. Yeah, it was good. You know, it was really one of the most... My family, I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
I've been able to take all the stuff about my family, kind of scrub it clean, and present it to people so they could have an enjoyment out of it.
Right.
Got a chance to kind of change it all.
There you go. That's right. I mean, the whole Life with Louie cartoon was based pretty much on that, right?
It was. I got to remove my dad's somewhat abusive behavior and turn him into this kind of bumbling, crazy. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, he was that kind of guy.
Right.
When the Canadians invade, and they will, you know, he's a real veteran type guy.
Yeah.
You know, you ever been to war, Louie? I'm 8.
And the guy loved his car more than his family.
He loved his car. He'd introduce it to people. Yeah, it's my here's my Bonneville. This is my family over there. I'm thinking about trading them there.
I love that. I saw you a couple years ago in Vegas. You were doing the Larger Than Life.
Oh, right,
That was a great show.
Was it a great show? Because sometimes in Vegas you go and you're working and you go, you come in here, right? Some days must not work.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you just come in and you just go, I just do not feel like a freak.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I know that happens to me. And so I'm always happy to hear that it was a really good show.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
I had a great time.
Thank
it was
you
really
so
cool.
much.
So funny. How long were you out there for doing that?
4 years.
Wow, 4 years.
And now I have a new showroom, Louie Anderson Theater at the Palace Station.
Oh, really? So you pretty much live in Vegas then?
I do right now. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
I'm putting together a brand new show I'm really excited about.
Are you really?
A almost interactive show with the audience, with all the technology and stuff we have going. So I've been working really hard on it.